You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to Let's Talk Business. My name is Kelly Bolton, and thank you for tuning in as we have the distinct pleasure of hosting our community's foremost leaders, entrepreneurs, and civic heroes. Over the years on this program, we've talked with some seasoned business owners as they look back on their company origins and the growth they've experienced. Today, we're excited to meet with a young entrepreneur and business owner to look ahead at the future of a very innovative and fast-growing industry. So please join me as we welcome Christian Lenoir, franchise owner of Aire-Master of West Tennessee. So without further ado, let's talk business. Christian, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So Aire-Master of West Tennessee. So I have the honor of knowing what that means, but it kind of just sounds like air. So what are you doing with air? What's Aire-Master of West Tennessee?
So Aire-Master is a scent branding and odor control company. Aire-Master originally started in the 1960s, and we started in hospitals as a janitorial service.
I can see that. That makes sense.
And so now Aire-Master in recent years has taken form in scent branding, and a lot of people don't know what that is. Scent branding is anytime you walk into an environment, whether it's a restroom or a lobby, a common area, and it smells great. And we do that with a range of businesses.
And sometimes, I've heard that sometimes you don't really realize that you're smelling it, but you are. I think you would probably realize the absence of the nice smell quicker sometimes than you realize the smell, because I think it would probably be offensive to some men to walk in and it just smells very floral, or some people might, but you just kind of, I've heard some of the hotel chains have these scents that are branded for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, so a lot of hotels like Hilton, your Marriott, all of them have this branded scent that they use in every single one of their hotels. That's a requirement from their franchisees that they use. And we also have those fragrances. We also help add that to other companies that aren't as big or are looking for something like that to kind of spice up their environment and help psychologically affect their customer.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's great.
Because I guess there's a psychology of, we think about what you see and we think about what you hear, because there's always different places might have hip music or some might have classical, so you hear and what you see visually, but there's another sense, and that's your smell.
I tell people all the time, you've got 5 senses, and one of those being visual, which is your most important sense.
Right.
And so when you walk in somewhere, people spend thousands and thousands of dollars to renovate their business, to add new furniture, which is your sense of touch, but nobody really focuses on that sense of smell. And it's a really important one that's really neglected in many ways, whether it's a stagnant area that has no fragrance, or there could be a bad odor that has occupied a room, and we can come in and fix all that and make it 10 times better and make it a pleasurable experience for their customer.
That's interesting, and I can see why that would be the case, because I can think of many times when I went and think, this smells funny, like I'm not sure what it is. Or, if you go in a hotel lobby and there's a restaurant in the hotel lobby, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't necessarily smell their food.
Absolutely.
I'm getting I'm not smelling food, but I can't say that I don't know what I'm smelling, but I'm certainly not smelling food. But if I walk in a restaurant, I always smell the food. So,
and that's its own form of scent branding. And so when you walk in somewhere, whether it's grandma's house that has fresh baked cookies, which is the most notable form of scent branding, or whenever you drive by a Chick-fil-A, I'm sure I'm a Chick-fil-A guy, and whenever you drive by a Chick-fil-A, it's like, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, it evokes that hunger in you, and that's scent branding at its finest.
Well, I can see what attracted you to it. So. Why did you choose Aire-Master of the scent branding, and then why did you decide to move into Memphis? Why this market?
So Aire-Master first, I was working at a local company. I'm a 901 native, and only time I went away was for school, and I came back. Family's here. I love the community. That's why Memphis. That's why Shelby County. That's why I was just drawn to this community. So I came back from college, started working, and was presented with this opportunity of starting this franchise. And I was skeptical at first. I'm a young guy who didn't know much about running his own business, but thankfully I've got a lot of people around me that have had businesses and run businesses. And so the next step to that was meeting the people at Aire-Master itself. And that was a very great process, because when I met them, it clicked. It was a family-owned business that had been around for 60 years. It was passed down in generations. And the minute we met them, I just knew that this was my future, and this is why I wanted to do business as an Aire-Master franchisee.
Oh, that's interesting. I think that says a lot, because I think, if you're going to start a business, it's got to be a little scary, and we'll talk about that. All the challenges, and then to be in an environment that's welcoming, that's really nice. And a family-owned business, that's nice. And I take it that that's kind of the same sense that you give to your customers, is that it is a family-owned business.
Absolutely. And to add on that, Aire-Master's products are made in the United States, which I'm a huge fan of. It makes it so easy to sell, just because number one, I'm confident in the product. That was another big step in us choosing Aire-Master, was the confidence in the product. So when we were evaluating Aire-Master, we had to evaluate their product as somebody that wasn't involved in Aire-Master, and it checked all the boxes. And
That's wonderful.
Absolutely, yeah. So it was an easy choice.
Well, good. Well, we're going to break here in just a second, but just one quick question, and then we'll come back and continue on it. If you had to think of one thing that's been the biggest challenge starting your own business, what would it be? Is it fear? Is it the money? Is it, what's the word that comes to mind? Or is there one word?
Market recognition.
That's a good one. So market recognition. Well, we're going to come back to market recognition, because I want to know a little bit more about the fear that you had. Maybe you didn't have fear, or the excitement that you had, how you were going to deal with market recognition, all of that.
Yeah.
So thank you. We're going to pause for a short commercial break, so please stick around.
So my belief is that band is the life of the school. If the band's not fun, the school's not fun. So breathe and.
Germantown High School Band is unique because we do marching, we do concert. Our director, Jeremy Thompson, brings an energy to this band that's very unique from all the other schools in Memphis.
We offer several special groups. We have 2 percussion classes that are very unique. They operate outside the general band program. They do their totally own thing. We also have a jazz band that functions on its own. The great thing about the jazz band program is that it's mostly student-led.
Jazz music teaches you how to move with agility and precision, while classical music teaches you how to play with feeling and emotion.
We have 2 concert band classes. We have the Varsity Winds, that's our highest performance ensemble, that's auditioned, and that's where our Kappa students reside, in that higher ensemble. We have an intermediate band class as well.
Marching band has probably been the most enjoyable experience for me.
We had such a fun time at the football games, getting to play our music and share our music.
We try to get out there and make sure that the team is happy, the coaches are happy, and that for the most part, the student body is happy.
I enjoyed band a lot. I loved being in the class.
Play D with that fingering.
It's very energetic, it's very intense, and I feel like that fits our atmosphere and our community in the band.
One major thing we push in band is just being a better person, being able to see something through to the end, cooperation, problem solving, all those lifelong skills you need as a young adult and into your future adulthood.
If you're ever hesitant about learning an instrument or think it's really hard to do, yes, it is, but don't be as scared. In this program, you will learn how to play that instrument, and you will learn how to develop into a better person. And I think that the band program will be great for you to join.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Business. If you're just tuning in, I'm Kelly Bolton, and today we have the distinct pleasure of talking with our guest today, Christian Lenoir, franchise owner of Aire-Master of West Tennessee. Christian, I was kind of excited to get into the topic, and I didn't want to put words in your mouth or thoughts in your head, but I was thinking about starting your own business, even young or at my age, which is still, of course, very young. But at any age, starting a business is fearful, I would think. But you said market branding. So was there any fear? Let's talk about the market branding, or did you have no fear? Was it all excitement?
So I guess I'll back up. Yes, there was fear. As a 25-year-old, 24 at the time, starting a new business was extremely scary. Taking that leap of faith was something that I had to talk about to family, friends. It took a lot of time, and it wasn't a short process, and it shouldn't be for anyone. But yes, getting into the market for any new business, brand recognition is so important. And marketing is the biggest challenge for me. I don't have a marketing background. I've learned a lot of it myself, whether it's through different avenues, planning marketing, things like that. So.
Well, you obviously got a very dynamic personality. You're 25 years of age, and here you are, guest on a TV show, talking about the new business you started. So I have to believe that you did your homework. And so I think what you're saying is market branding. What I'm hearing is the connection of maybe there was fear, but once you do your homework, you got comfortable with this family-owned business. You knew you were doing the best one. You knew you were going to market brand yourself. And so then that kind of moves to excitement. So, I think, and what you said I think is important for people that might be considering starting a business is just because you don't have the background in something doesn't mean you can't do it. If you're smart, you're personable, and you believe in something, then that's it. So I'd love to know, because this whole scent marketing, I'm a female, okay, so I wear perfume, so I get that. I love the way it smells. And I love the senses. I'm one that I love to walk in a room and see and smell and touch and all those things. And so I think it sounds very, very exciting. But if I was a business owner, I might be thinking, well, my business doesn't smell. Like, nobody's ever complained they walked in my lobby and it stinks. And why would I do this? And if I do it, could you give me a little test run? Like, could you give me a sample and let me just, I guess so the question is, how can you talk to you and decide, do I want to do it? And do I have to sign a year contract to just test it?
So that's the great thing about Aire-Master, and you touched on a couple things, and I'll touch on both of them. So when we start with a new customer, we don't charge them anything. We run a demo first.
Okay, that's good.
So we run a trial period, and we use our units, whether it's a small space diffuser to a HVAC system, we run that unit, and we're going to find the right points that your business, because there's different airflows and a bunch of different things that go into it, that your business, it works for you. And we're going to change fragrances, see what you like. We're going to really dial it in for you.
So it's not like you're walking in and sticking a little, what are those things you twist the top and you put it in a room, and it's not that. You're putting it in an air conditioned system, or you're filtrating it through the.
Correct.
Interesting.
We have
but
a bunch
you
of,
don't have to sign a contract. You'll try it?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
That's pretty
and
cool.
so on top of that, after we finish the trial period, there is no contract. We don't do contracts. Why we don't do contracts is because we're a service company.
Really?
And a lot of our competitors lock people into contracts, long-term contracts, 5-year, sometimes 7-year contracts. And after the first year, many of these companies, the service drops. The service quality drops.
I can speak to that. I had a company do the same thing to me on a personal level.
Absolutely, and so that's what we prevent, and that's what we like finding. We like our customers to find comfort in the fact that if our service quality drops, you can cancel us immediately.
That is really, really smart, because that means they know that you're on your A game every time. So,
absolutely.
I guess what size business do you have to be? Like, I work in a building that is, I guess we have 4 floors. We don't own the building where I work, but we have 4 floors. There's a lobby, multiple businesses. So would you be selling to my company that occupies one space on the floor of the building, or would you sell to the whole building, and would it go to all the spaces that all the tenants are renting?
So yes, to answer your question, we sell to everybody. I think what you're asking is, so the company that owns the building usually has control over the bathrooms. What you have control of as the floor is your lobby, and so where your customers walk in and out of. And if you want that to be a pleasurable experience for your customers, then we can absolutely do something for you. As far as the size of business, we do anything from small retail stores to large hotels, apartment complexes, senior facilities, restaurants. We do it all.
Interesting. So the building owner would do the scent, and I can speak for my personal building. Our bathrooms, they smell, and there's some scent thing up in the corner, and it's not doing any good. And it's not your typical bathroom smell. It's some just old, like no filtration. It's been just sitting there forever. But like my office space that's within the building, would you be able to provide scent for it, or does it have to go through the building?
We could do it, but we couldn't tap into the HVAC systems. We could do it through diffusers, through either floor diffusers or wall-mounted diffusers.
Okay, and we're going to come back to that. We're going to cut for a break. I don't want to cut you off, but we're going to cut for a break. If you will please stick around, we're going to take a short commercial break, so don't go away as we continue to learn about how Aire-Master is leading the way in innovative solutions in scent branding.
So choir is an excellent opportunity for you to engage in the music making process and to create relationships and bonds with your fellow classmates. I want it that way. I want it that way.
What I like most about choir is I get to build relationships with other students, and a lot of the friends I have, I wouldn't have if it wasn't for joining choir.
Come out of your shells for this. You'll have to be one solid unit.
It's fun, it's real enjoyable.
It's not so tense or anything. We're all there to enjoy what we love to do, which is sing.
You get what you want, but not what you need.
We have 4 vocal ensembles at Germantown High School. One of those is the a cappella group called the Aca Devils. Another is Cantabile, which is a beginner level mixed ensemble. We have an intermediate mixed ensemble called Chorale. And then the 4th group is chamber choir, which is an advanced level SATV mixed group.
If you haven't thought about joining choir yet, I think you should, because it's a good experience.
Come have fun. Don't be scared. Don't be nervous.
Do something that challenges you and encourages you to explore something outside of what might be your comfort zone. And I think you might be surprised at how much you might enjoy it.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Business. So glad you could join us today as we've had the pleasure of speaking with Christian Lenoir, franchise owner of Aire-Master of West Tennessee. Christian, thank you. I know I cut you off when we were kind of in the middle of talking about things, and we're in our last segment, and I've got like a zillion questions to ask you because, you know, this is one of the more interesting concepts from a marketing standpoint, and I think if I was thinking about it as a business owner, I would think, well, nobody's told me my business smelled. I mean, now I would say I've been in veterinarian clinics and dental offices have some very strong smell, and I think it's some type of medicine or something that they use. But those are the only businesses that I've ever walked in and noticed a super strong odor. So if somebody's listening and thinks, this is kind of a cool concept, I don't think I need it, or I do think I need it because I have a bunch of fertilizer. I'm a place that sells fertilizer and it's got a strong smell and I want to get rid of that. I mean, how do you get started? Whether you think you need it or you don't think you need it.
So you can reach out to us on any of our social media platforms. We're on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You can also reach out with my phone number that I think's on this broadcast.
And what's that number?
901-860-1600.
Okay, thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and so the process is you call me, you get in touch with me or my partner, and we come to your place of business, we set up a time to meet, and we kind of ask you about your needs. What do you want? Is there an odor that's an issue, or do you want to create an environment in your business?
Which is kind of what I was saying, like a noticeable odor, whether it's a veterinarian's office or a dental practice, somebody that has fertilizer, something that has a strong smell, or I'm a spa and I want to have a smell. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. We do work with spas, we do work with vet clinics, dog daycares, all the above.
Oh yeah.
And what the great thing is we've done different things for each one of them, and they've all been very pleased.
So you customize the scent. I don't just start smelling a bunch of things and say, I want that one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you have to do you tweak the scent to, like a dog daycare may have a different scent than a place that has fertilizer?
Well, so the great thing about our oils is all of our oils have a property in them called melium. And melium's a true deodorant. So melium actually gets rid of the odor that's in the air. Now, if there's a constant source, it won't. Once that constant source is controlled, then that melium infiltrates the air, which is completely safe to be around, and occupies and deodorizes the air, as well as adding that wonderful fragrance. And we've got hundreds of fragrances. A lot of them I can't even name. There's so many.
Then how do you know which one you use? I mean, if you get rid of, say, the doggy daycare odor, which would, I get, if you took your dog to daycare, you wouldn't want to take it to a place that you thought smelled. So you got to neutralize the odor. Then how do you decide what's next?
So that's the fun part with a lot of my customers. I call it the wine tasting.
Okay, very cool.
I bring in a profile of fragrances that I think would be fit for your business and your needs. And so when I ask you, when we have our first meeting, what are your needs? I'm in my mind figuring out what I think you would like, and then I'll bring in those fragrances, let you smell all of them, and then we'll decide on a fragrance. And at any point in time, if you wanted to switch fragrances, you absolutely could.
So it's easy. You can quickly get that one smell out of the air and the other. And is it always a distinguishable smell, like when I walk in and go, oh wow, this studio smells different than it did last time I was here? Or is it more subliminal?
Subliminal, we do both. Okay. So we have customers that want their customers to be immediately hit with this aroma of inviting,
like a spa.
Absolutely, yeah.
Exactly.
You want to feel relaxed, and then we have customers who want it to be very subtle. I don't know if you know this, but in Las Vegas has adopted the idea of scent branding, and so Las Vegas and all their casinos, when you walk in, you don't smell it necessarily, but it psychologically affects you to relax and actually bet more money. So it's an interesting concept.
That is really cool. I remember years ago, I don't know if it was true or not. It was just kind of a story that went around that movie theaters had subliminal messages that were like, eat more popcorn, drink more Coke. I don't know if it was really true or not, but but that was kind of the story. And I can see that because there's places that I've been that I just feel just more zen, just kind of more relaxed. And there's other places that I'm more hyped up. And sometimes I'll think it's the music, oh my word, like the music, or it may be the lighting, or it may be other things, but I've never, and occasionally I've thought it was the scent. And a lot of times it's somebody's burning a candle. And so how do you kind of work with somebody that says, well, we'll just burn a candle because we have a small business, we just burn a candle?
So we have people that burn candles all the time, and they love them. Typically we can, if you're in love with that fragrance of the candle, we can match that fragrance, which is really cool.
Very cool.
And oftentimes we're more cost effective.
I was going to say, because candles are not cheap now.
Absolutely.
I mean,
so candles a lot of times are $15 for a small candle sometimes.
I bought one for $50 the other day, and it said it's going to burn longer than others, and I burned it, and it's like halfway burned already. I thought I was paying more, and so $50, if you're burning it all day, every day, it could get expensive.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, and the space that candle can cover is not anywhere compared what $50 with us can cover.
That's interesting. And I know we're about to wrap it up, but what you just said is true, because you walk in a room and if a candle's burning, it's really strong where it is, but as you move away. So we're going to have to wrap it up. Is there any final words you want to share with our guest?
Thank you for having me on.
Or not our guest, I guess our audience, I should say.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me on, and I'm glad to be here. Feel free to reach out if that's something for your business that you think you could use and enjoy yourself and for your customers, and thanks again.
Oh, well, thank you. Once again, I want to thank Christian Lenoir with Aire-Master of West Tennessee for being with us today and sharing with us his valuable insight. To learn more about Aire-Master and how they can help your business, send Christian an email at West Tennessee with 2 N's at airemaster.com. You can also check out their website at airemaster.com/West-Tennessee. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion, and I hope you will join us again next month on Let's Talk Business. To get more information on our show, you can check us out on the web at GHS-TV.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion, and I hope you'll join us again next month on Let's Talk Business.